had a general idea. The raid leader had to know what each combat unit was capable of, what DPS they could deal, and what buffs or spells they could use. Tactics depended on that. After dealing with the contract, I quickly changed my own gear and messaged Balian. Without a word, Raccoon moved me from the main channel, buzzing with hundreds of voices, into the 16th group, where I was happy to discover the nicknames of Valkyrie, Flame, Nico, and Alex Order. Balian's head was really like a conference room. How did he manage to remember which of several hundred active players worked well with each other? I would have never pulled that off. Not everyone could look at a bustling, shouting crowd and see a cohesive raid system composed of various groups. I reassured myself that thousands of lines full of auction lots probably looked just as insane to a raid leader. To each their own. Finding a group in a castle teeming with players turned out to be harder than I expected, even despite the marks on my map. I hugged Alex, shook Flames and Nico's hands, and got an air kiss from Valkyrie. Comtour. Who jumped to Fairs through the clan portal again? Come back, censored. Cut it out, people. There was no order. I said scouts only. All right, guys, stop screwing around. Follow orders. Gather in the castle. Nobody goes there. A commotion. A clutter, swearing in the chat rooms. Almost 1,000 players had already joined the raid, and considering that everyone had an NPC companion or two, the total number looked very impressive. I saw the tags of all PvP clans in the Alliance, Watchers, Enemy, Heroes, Brethren, Unity, and the Varangians. Everyone had come. It was my first time seeing such a massive raid. Will Comtour lead the raid? I asked Alex. The bearded rune master shook his head. I don't think so. Too many people. That's out of his league. I guess it will be Mook. Nico let out a reverential whistle. Of course. Evil Mook was another legend of the Russian-speaking community, one of the most experienced, tough, and uncompromising PvP raid leaders. Enemy, his clan, had started out as a group of PKers who terrorized newbies and farmers. They retained their core members and were considered to be the most experienced and skilled fighters of the Northerners, equal to the hardcore pros from the Watchers. I scrolled through the courier channels. That messenger was really something else. It had supplanted all other communication platforms thanks to its customization options. At the moment, everything was set up by the classic scheme. The raid leaders had a separate chat room, everyone could hear them, and they could hear only the group leaders, scouts, and other essential players. In the command chat, I also noticed several unfamiliar nicknames tagged as Phoenix, Horde, and even Herd. Apparently, something truly grandiose was about to happen if they needed communication with our major allies. In the meantime, a young, slightly raspy voice started talking. It belonged to the aforementioned Mook. Evil Mook. Hi all noobs. Thanks for coming. We didn't expect this turnout. 1,000. Awesome. Several people wrote in the chat that he was a noob and an amateur. Banter and snark were par for the course in the Alliance. Subordination didn't matter. Mook laughed, content, and spoke up. All right, so for those who don't know me, I have 2 rules. First, don't flood the channel and the chat. Second, always assist. Those who shitpost and don't attack primary targets will become primary targets. I'm not joking. There are many of us today, so targets will be given out by 12 callers. I'm going to assign them, and they'll pick out reserve callers in case they die. The battle will be hard. Release your pawns as soon as we go through the portal, but for now, we'll only need support, heal, and ranged DPS. Most likely, we'll be attacking from a distance, aiming at flying targets. The edge of the yellow sun appeared above the jagged ridges of the horizon. It was almost 7.